Ain or no? No, right? So it is Kha and Ghain. Ghain. Can I hear it? Ghain. And Kha. Very good. So Kha, Ghain. And then we said the middle of the throat, it has two other letters. What are those? Ha, Ain. Remember, Ha, Ain. They're both located in the middle of the throat. Or they come from the middle of the throat. And then we said the bottom of the throat, Hamza and Ha. These are the other two letters. Alright. So today, what we're going to deal with is a new chapter. And this chapter deals with some of the rules in regards to Noon Sākinah and Tanwīn. First of all, when we say Sākinah, so I'm going to write things on the board too, and we're going to follow here as well sometimes. Just follow me in both places. Sākinah. You can all see? Is this clear? Huh? Sisters from the back there, you can all see? And feel free, if you're not able to see it, feel free to move a little bit more this way, so things can be clear. In the Arabic language, we have the haraka. Haraka, it means a vowel which is put on top or it comes on the bottom of the letter. This haraka, this vowel is called a, right? The vowel put on the bottom of the letter, this symbolizes E. And then this thing that looks like a comma, it symbolizes the vowel U. If they are extended, A, E, U. So these are the harakat, we call it in Arabic, the harakat, the vowels. But then you have these harakat that are doubled, and we call this tanween. You have in, you have an, and then you have un. But also beside these vowels, we have another phenomenon, which is the sukoon. And I have it right here. Sukoon. Sukoon brings the letter by itself without any vowel. It's like saying s. Letter, not necessarily silent, but without having any letter, without having any vowels. Because generally speaking, when we read the Arabic language, all the letters, they have a vowel, A, E, U usually. But also we do have this phenomenon, we call it the sukoon, where the letter is without any vowel. For example, when we say in Arabic, let's say, Assalamu alaikum, a very familiar term for everybody. And I'm not going to write the whole thing, but I'm just going to write here, alaikum. Alaykum. Now, if you see the first letter has a vowel, which is eh. Then you have the second letter, eh. Third letter has a sukoon. So this is pronounced e. Alay. Alaykum. The last letter as well has a sukoon. So the same thing. Alaykum. Only the letter itself is coming out without any vowel associated to it. So, okay, so we understand the concept of sukoon. Then what do we call a letter that has a sukoon? Sākinah. Alright? So don't forget that. Sākinah. I'm going to write it here. Sākinah. A letter that has a sukoon is called Sākinah. Now, in the Arabic language, or we can say, when it comes to Tajwid, in particularly, letter Noon and the Tanween, if they are Sākinah, there is definitely going to be a rule related to either one of them. Again, if noon comes as a Sākinah with Sukun, or there is a Tanwīn, because you cannot make Tanwīn with Sukun. Excuse me. So if you have Noon Sākinah or Tanwīn, definitely there is going to be one of the rules associated with it. Alright, so what are these rules associated with this? Let me erase this. We call these Ahkam al-Noon al-Sākinah wa Tanwīn. In English language, the rules of Noon Sākinah and Tanwīn. Tanwīn is an, in, on. There are 4 different scenarios. So there are 4 different rules in regards to Noon Sākinah and Tanwīn. As you can see right here in the PowerPoint presentation, you have Izhār al-Halqi, Izhār halqi, which means the first phenomenon is Izhār. Izhār means clear, to make something clear, or in other words, display. Why display? How is it connected to Noon Sākinah and Tanwīn? Simply, it is to display or to say it clear the Noon Sākinah or Tanwīn. For example, min anfusihim. So I'm not going to focus in this word right here, but I want to focus on this Noon as-Sākinah right here. Min anfusihim. What am I doing to Noon Sākinah right here? Izhār. So pretty much I am displaying it normally, or I am saying it clearly. Min anfusihim. Well, this is a normal phenomenon. The other three scenarios that we have, which is idgham, ikhfa, and iqlab, they transform Noon Sākinah or Tanwīn in something else, or there is hidden in it, or there is changing of the letter. So it's either transformation of the letter to another letter, hiding it, or merging it to the other letter. For example, anfusihim. Yes, we do have Noon Sākinah again right here. But because this Noon Sākinah is an example of ikhfa, which is another phenomenon, then we have to hide this. But again, I don't want you to focus on how do we hide it and why we hide this. But I just want you to know that we do hide it in this example. Anfusihim instead of saying anfusihim. If we say anfusihim, that would be clear, right? That would be izhār. That would be saying it clearly or displaying it. But here, for example, we don't. Why? We're going to learn it later. Or we say, for example, anba'ahum. This is another example. Anba'ahum. When we look in the Quran, we will see a small meme right here on top. Have you guys seen those cases where it has a small meme on top? What does that stand for? That stands for changing it or transforming it from saying anba'ahum to anba'ahum. Anba'ahum. So noon goes completely out of the picture. And instead of noon, meme takes place. So this is another phenomenon among these 4 phenomena that we're talking about here today. Again, I don't want you to focus on how do we do it, and that's not the issue right now, but I'm just showing you that there are different scenarios where the meme either is displayed, it's hidden, transformed into something else, or simply displayed normally. Alright guys, any questions so far? Is it clear for everybody? Alright. We move on, we continue then with Izhār, because this is what we're focusing today. And we're going to come up with some examples. And as we start explaining Izhār, I want you now to pick up the Quran books. And each time from now on, when you attend the class, I want you to come with a Quran book in Arabic. Not necessarily in English, but only in Arabic language. So as I erase this and as I get ready for Izhār, please feel free to pick up a Quran from the shelves around the masjid. You don't have to open it yet. I'll tell you inshallah when to open it. But right now, we want to learn about Izhār. So, we said that Izhār, it means display. And here we're dealing only with Noon al-Sākinah and Tanwīn. So, when do we say Noon al-Sākinah and Tanwīn in a displayed manner, in a displayed way? Well, that happens only when there are one of these 6 letters, Kha, Ghain, Ha, Ain, Ha, or Hamza. In other words, these are called Huruf al-Halq, the letters of the throat. And I put it right here. So again, if one of these 6 letters is going to appear after Noon Sakina or Tanween, then Noon Sakina or Tanween has to be pronounced clearly. I gave you an example earlier. Anyone remembers the example of Izhār? Min anfusihim. Right. Min anfusihim. Alright, so here we have Noon Sakina. And then Noon Sakina is followed by Alif or Hamza. In this case, we have to display it or make it clear. Min anfusihim. Give me another example where you have one of the other 5 letters beside the Hamza or Alif. Give me an example from the Quran or maybe from something that you remember from the short surahs. هذا من فضل ربي. Let's analyze this. Is it, first of all, is it an example of Izhār or not? It's not. Why? So one of the 6 letters after Noon Sakina does not come, but instead it is Fa. Fa is actually one of the letters of Ikhfa. Therefore, it doesn't qualify. So I don't have to write it down. You guys know it already. It doesn't qualify to be an Izhār. Give me another example. Sister Sophia? What? Is that another example of Ikhfa? Wala antum. It's not. Because you have Noon Sakina, An, followed by Ta. But Ta is not one of the 6 letters right here. Again, that's an example of Ikhfa. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. Is it or not? It is. Min khawf. So in this case, I display or I say it clearly, Noon Sakina. Min khawf. Why? Because one of the 6 letters, which is Kha, is coming right after Noon Sakina. Give me another example. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمَ. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ. Whatever it is the example. وَمَنْ Is it an example of Izhār or no? Yes, it is, because Noon Sākinah is followed by Alif. وَمَنْ So yes, we said clearly. So we got the concept, we got the idea. Now, I want you to come up with another example, which is a little bit harder. But there are a lot of examples in the Quran where you see the Tanwīn and in followed by one of the 6 letters of Izhār. Min ba'di, it's not. Sister? Min haq. So min haq is just another example of Noon Sākinah, which is Izhār. We say it clearly, but we're looking for a Tanwīn in this case. We're looking for an in which is followed by one of the 6 letters. Can I give you one? Can I start with one? It's very simple. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Kufuwan ahad. Kufuwan ahad. So you have the Tanwīn N right here, followed by Alif or Hamza. يومئذ خاشعة. Surah Al-Ghashiyah. وجوه يومئذ خاشعة. يومئذ خا. You have Tanwīn in, which is followed by kha. So that's just another example of Izhār, of saying it clear. Tanwīn in this case. You can come up probably with some more examples. Yes. Shay'in alim. Is it an example of ikhfa of Tanwīn or not? Yes, it is. It is. Shay'in alim. So we say it clearly. Another example? So where وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. Where is the Tanwīn here? Antum, we have Mim. Abiduna, is there a Tanwīn? So we don't have Tanwīn. But even if it was the Noon Sākinah, which is Antum there, is that an example of Izhār? If we have Antum, is it an example of Izhār? No, right? It is something else. Excellent. Hasidin idha hasad. Hasidin idha hasad. Beautiful. Yes? Rizqan hasana. Yes. Rizqan. Qan. It comes with alif and the 2. And then it's followed by ha. I'm not writing the whole words here, but you have Tanwīn and then it is followed by letter ha. Rizqan hasana. Rizqan hasana. I think you want to give another example? Kana hillal libani. Alright, let's analyze it. Hillal libani. Yes, you do have a Tanwīn there, which is N. Hillan li. So I'm stopping here. I'm not continuing with the word. You have Tanwīn for sure. But is this Tanwīn followed by one of the 6 letters or not? No. So it's not Izhār. This is an example of idgham. Idgham means merging. Hillal libani. Idgham ila gunna or bi ghayri gunna. But anyways, we'll learn that inshallah later on. Min alfi. But khayrum min, it's not, because it's followed. Min yes. You have Noon Sākinah followed by alif. Lucky. All right, guys. So I have only a few minutes. Let me introduce you the second ruling of ahkam and Noon al-Sākinah wa Tanwīn, which is the iqlab. And I just talked about it earlier. Huh? Oh, we did this last week? Excellent. MashaAllah, beautiful. That's why you guys came up with a lot of examples quickly. That's good. So then if that's the case, we can leave it here tonight. If there is any questions from any one of you, feel free to shoot. Otherwise, next week, inshallah, we're going to talk about ikhfa. And hopefully, we can also talk about idgham. Actually, most likely we're just going to be honest, we're going to be able to only cover ikhfa. Because there are a lot of letters involved with it. And idgham too, it can be a little bit more complicated since there are two categories. That's going to also require another session by itself. I will take any questions that you have in regards to Izhār today, or generally speaking, rules of Noon, Sākinah or Tanwīn.
What is the secret behind the word which you just mentioned? There was a word in, but we pronounced it as because there was a meme, small letter meme on the top of the noon. The one before it.
أنبأهم.
Yeah, أنبأهم. So what is the secrecy behind when we are pronouncing أنبأهم? Why we are not writing one alif meme instead of alif noon?
Then it would be like the same question as saying, why do we write knowing when we say just knowing? That's the way how you write it. That's the way how you write it. But when you recite it, is different. When you read it normally, that's how you have to read it. أنبأهم. Reading it normally, that's how it is in the Arabic language. أنبأهم. But these are rules to excel in recitation of the Quran, or to make it even better. Alright, so generally speaking, in Arabic language, you don't apply rules of tajweed except in the Quran. So in Arabic, it is written like that. أنبأهم. So when we apply the rules of tajweed, they do not change the meaning of the words at all. But the different qira'as, when we recite according to different qira'as, it is possible. But the meaning though still remains very similar from one qira'ah to another qira'ah. There we have a different phenomenon between the qira'ats, between the different recitations. Yes. Any other questions? Yes, sister.
Will there be a chance for us to practice reciting the text and applying the rules?
Yes. We're going to do that. Since this is very simple, I don't see it necessarily to do a practice on Izhār. But when it comes to ikhfa, we're definitely going to do that. This is simple, like this is everybody knows this one, and everybody is able to say it normally. Izhār. Or most of the people. Like we don't face many problems with students when it comes to Izhār. But when it comes to ikhfa, we're definitely going to get into the examples, inshallah. That's why I told you I need you to have the Qur'ans with you, because when you find the example, I want you to recite it according to tajweed. Not just a normal reading, but according to tajweed. So we'll start next time, inshallah, doing that. Anything else? Alright, then we conclude the session tonight by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us among those who read the Quran often and they apply its rulings in their daily lives. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa ya.